The Legend of Zelda series has got to be one of my favorite video game series of all time. It is filled with so many memorable moments. In this video, I'll be sharing my list of my top 10 Legend of Zelda moments. Once again, please note that this is just my opinion. With that being said, let's get into it. Everything seems so well and good. Link and Zelda are happily walking side by side, until... Many people who played Skyward Sword probably knew it was coming, considering the second Girahim battle didn't result in him dying. But just how it happened really stuck out for me. Also, the fact that this is probably the angriest we've seen Link in the series really adds to the moment. The fact that there's no escaping this battle and you're forced to joust against King Bulblin in order to save Colin, with really epic music playing in the background, is just, well, epic. On a pretty narrow bridge, King Bulblin looks rather intimidating. It's so easy to fail this battle, as sometimes you have no room to keep going forward, and when you do, it's just barely. After the battle is done, a short but really epic and satisfying cutscene is shown. For some, it was really predictable, but for others, it was a huge surprise, and it didn't help that Ruto identified Sheik as a man. Link encounters Sheik at the start of every temple to learn a new song. Sheik usually leaves the area without any explanation of who he is, and just says, "I'll see you again." So I really loved this moment as Link finally gets an explanation of everything that happened and why Zelda was dressed as Sheik. For a game that was good, but not that good, I gotta say, Skyward Sword had a really epic final battle. Not so much the first phase, but the second phase. The atmosphere was awesome, and this was probably the only part in Skyward Sword where I actually liked using the Wii Motion Plus. It made the moment so much better. Except maybe Galactos as well, but my top 10 boss battles will be in another video. It also helps that before you fight Demise, you can get everything you need to prepare for the battle. First we fought Zelda, then we fought Beast Ganon, then we fought Ganondorf on a horse, and finally finishing with a one-on-one battle with Ganondorf. The fact that this battle had one of my favorite themes in the game makes the battle oh so epic. Now, one thing about this moment that I really questioned is why Ganondorf gets distracted every time by a fishing rod. It makes the battle so much easier than it already is. The battle finishes by Link stabbing a sword through his chest. Also, Ganondorf dies standing up. How badass is that? Probably the biggest part of the storyline, Link pulling the Master Sword and 7 years pass. Ganondorf now conquered the world of Hyrule. Now, Link pulling the Master Sword was a memorable moment in the other games, but I feel that Ocarina of Time had the best moment of it, as Ocarina of Time's story is my favorite Zelda story. For my favorite companion in the series, I gotta say, this was a very memorable and sad moment. The fact that Midna wasn't an annoyance and was actually helpful adds to the moment. Now, Fi's farewell was a little more sad, but again, let's leave that for another video. After some credits pass, there's one final cutscene. Midna enters the Palace of Twilight and breaks the mirror, making her gone forever.
Hope for defeating Ganon is lost, all because I couldn't harness this cursed power. Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing. So I really am just a failure. All my friends, the entire kingdom, my father most of all. I tried and I failed them all. I left them all to die.
The game just got released and has Zelda's Despair as my third favorite Zelda moment. This is the first time in the series where we have seen Zelda cry, I think. But in Breath of the Wild, the character development is great. Also, the voice acting was pretty darn good. If you have beat the game, then you probably knew that this moment was going to be on my list.
It was Calamity Ganon. It turned them all against us.
Majora's Mask's story is pretty straightforward. The moon is going to end the world in 3 days. The final 6 hours is my second favorite Legend of Zelda moment. On the first day, Clocktown is filled with people. From people who say they're going to cut the moon in half, to people who are in denial of the moon ending the world. When the final hours come, Clocktown is almost empty. The same person who said that he was going to cut the moon is now scared of his fate, and some aren't evacuating just because they haven't been ordered to. The unsettling Final Hours theme that is played does not help at all. Neither does the red sky. Once the time ends, we are greeted with a pretty memorable game over scene. Before I get to my favorite Legend of Zelda moment, here are some moments that didn't quite make my list. My favorite Legend of Zelda moment of all time, Ocarina of Time's final battle. After defeating Ganondorf, the castle collapses and we try to escape with a time limit. After we get to the bottom, it seems that everything is over and Ganondorf is defeated. Link and Zelda are happy, until... After losing the Master Sword, it seems that all hope is lost, and the world is on Link's hands. The atmosphere is outstanding, and so is the theme of this battle. Not only is this my favorite Legend of Zelda moment, but it may be my favorite video game moment of all time. That's all I have. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.